All right, it's currently halftime of the Georgia Tech game. There's other games that are at halftime. Alabama, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, and Temple just got to halftime. Uh, Oregon, Northwestern's halftime and all that. We'll get to those games. But Clemson, right now, they're literally doing exactly what I said last week. If they play like they did against Troy, they're going to get beat by Georgia Tech. And as of right now, Georgia Tech's winning right now, 13-7. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I mean, Clemson's a talented team, and they're not playing like it. And we're going to find the same thing out about Georgia. I'm picking Georgia to win, but it's not because of, some of the reasons you guys may think Georgia might win. The only reason why I'm picking Georgia to beat Tennessee today is because I have complete trust in Kirby Smart. That's the only reason why I'm picking Georgia to beat Tennessee. So we're going to find out if Georgia, can be as dominant as some of us think they, can be. But Clemson just has not looked that good. I believe Cade Klubnik, I believe he's only thrown for like 70-some yards and all that. Haynes King's having a game so far. He's got 134 pass yards. He's got I think it's like 40-some rush yards. Haynes King's looked really good so far. Obviously, there's still a whole second half to play, but if Clemson keeps playing the way they are right now, they're going to lose. It's just that fucking simple. And I literally called that in my halftime video, like I said, in the Clemson game last week or Georgia game. I literally said if Clemson and Georgia play the way they did last week, this week, they both will lose. And so far, Clemson's losing right now, and it's looking like they're going to lose if they don't figure it the fuck out. But as I said, there's other games on right now that are at halftime, just like the Clemson game. Michigan's beating Central Michigan 35-3. Not really a surprise there. Michigan's playing nobody. Auburn's also playing a nobody, winning 14-3 right now. That's in the second quarter. Missouri 14, Louisiana 0. Another cupcake team for Missouri. Missouri was one of the worst 3-loss teams last season, but whatever. They're winning 14-0. Alabama's winning 21-0 against Wisconsin. Wisconsin just isn't that good. I mean, Luke Fickell could be facing his last season with Wisconsin. He just hasn't done a whole lot there in Wisconsin. He ain't got the team to be competing with anybody, and their schedule's really fucking tough. But Alabama's won 21-0, and then Oklahoma's winning 25-3 against Temple. Oregon's winning 17-0 against Northwestern. So I mean, there's not really a whole lot surprises really going on right now. Really, other than the Georgia Tech and Clemson game, and and it's not really a shocker really to me. It may be a shocker, to Clemson fans or Georgia Tech fans, but it's not really a shocker to me. But if I had to say if anything shocking, it's this, because the other games I was expecting, Michigan, Alabama, Oklahoma, all the other teams are playing, lower class teams. I was expecting them to win, so those aren't really shockers. It's really this Georgia Tech game that's really the shocker. But Clemson just does not look that good. And that's not just my opinion. No, I mean, that's facts. Clemson fans have to agree with me that if they don't figure it the fuck out, they're going to lose. And as talented as Clemson is, they can't be playing like this, as talented as they are. Because if you lose this, that's already your second loss. You still have games against Florida State and a few other sort of landmines in your schedule. So I'm not saying, that if Clemson loses that it's fully, impossible to still potentially make it to the conference championship game or, make it to the playoffs. But it's going to be a lot harder, because if Clemson loses this, I don't see how anybody can really pick them to beat, Florida State and some of the other teams that maybe could cause Clemson some trouble on their schedule. But good first half for Georgia Tech. We'll see what happens in the second half. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Clemson. But if they don't figure it the fuck out, then they're going to lose. But we'll see what happens second half. You got a whole lot of other good games on here in a little bit. You got Georgia, Tennessee, obviously. You got Miami, South Florida coming on later. Florida, LSU. Notre Dame, Texas A&M. So you got several other good games on. So we still got a whole lot of more football to be played. But we'll see what happens in the second half with Georgia Tech and Clemson. If I had to sort of make a sort of prediction right now, I'm going to say Georgia Tech's going to hold on and win this game, but I don't know. We'll see if Clemson pulls their head out of their ass. They need to, because they're way too talented to be playing like this. And you could say the same thing about Georgia. They just haven't looked that good either, and we'll find out if they're, as dominant as some of us think they can be against Tennessee. But we'll see what happens in the second half. Clemson's terrible.